Brief description summary of incident. False imprisonment arrest by Whole Foods LPO manager. I was not only falsely imprisoned by employees and agents of Whole Foods, but I was also intimidated and battered further by the VPD with footage, doctor's report, RMT assessment, and photos of bruises to show for it. Events leading to the false imprisonment arrest. I was shopping with my husband Sunday afternoon on June 7th, 2020 at the 510 West 8th location. We parked in the property's downstairs parkade and proceeded upstairs to the store level. I noticed a very rigid atmosphere as most people were wearing masks and my husband and I were not. The masks were not mandatory at that date. And while shopping, we walked past a young male wearing a known style of symbolizing cannibalism mask and worn by terrorist group Antifa, who had been rallying all that week, threatening to burn the city down. It was unsettling to say the least because I personally have been threatened by Antifa since 2018 for being a true peacekeeper in our community. My husband and I gathered up some items to purchase and stood on the social distance lines and lineup. This eerie atmosphere led up to hugging the Whole Foods staff member who approached me when I was sharing some encouraging, comforting, and uplifting messages about being healthy and kind to each other during this unique time. In my reassuring way, I was promoting the antiviral products at Whole Foods as an intelligent choice for the community to be fighting infections for all these years. I also relayed the fact that all week long, health ministers and Trudeau said, yes, I said Trudeau, had been encouraging everyone to get out to the BLM riots all week. And that he even went into the crowds along with many other parliament leaders and took a knee. Surely we would be safe enough to be calm and kind towards one another. The VPD report says I was pried off of hugging staff member by LPO and manager. The report states, I approached and assaulted her with a hug, shouting sentences I did not say. The report stated specific words and full sentences that are political, that I did not say and I do not think. Simple showing of this footage that I am demanding would show the truth about the incident. Conveniently, no one wants to acknowledge this incident happened or happened any other way than what the condemning VPD police report states. I am astounded that a constable, a VPD, would not have any consideration of the threat he placed on my life with this false report or have any fear of the truth catching up with him. This begs to question if this is an organized crime on innocent victims. Innocent citizens, I have video footage from my husband's cell phone that was taken when I was unlawfully cuffed and viciously pushed to the ground, face first and topless onto the sidewalk in broad daylight by LPO and another female security who was blocking me in. And guess who was standing there eagerly at that moment with a security vest on all of a sudden? The cannibal Antifa masked male agent. I have the freeze frame image of these actions and these agents of Whole Foods. But no police never once asked me or my husband what happened, even though my husband had just filmed what happened to me. The VPD were not allowing us to speak with them at all, and they still are not. Can you believe this unlawful detainment continued over 3 hours' time? What a waste of the city's money. Whole Foods should be charged for calling the VPD, How simple-minded of any human to be placed in such a great position of power and responsibility with people's lives. Their lives. The police report has the logging of time correct. As you can imagine, there are lots of incriminating details to this case. After all, that battery and alarming behavior without masks on any of the officers. Another single truth on the police report is that I requested to hug it out once set free and was denied. When I was finally let out of the paddy wagon, I stepped down the stairs, barely able to carry myself, and was brusquely refused hugs when I offered. The cops were masked and gloved at that point, and my top had been recently adjusted so that I was covered by then. I was banned by Whole Foods. No apologies. Until the arrival of the police department, VPD, everyone involved would have either been an employee or an agent of Whole Foods, and therefore Whole Foods is vicariously liable for these actions. The false imprisonment arrest carried out by Whole Foods staff and agents was then unnecessarily continued by numerous members of the Vancouver Police Department, VPD. And we're friends. One attending officer further intimidatingly detained and battered me while I was cuffed and topless on the sidewalk in broad daylight. As employer of the 5 VPD officers on the scene, the City of Vancouver is vicariously liable for their poor-minded actions and blatant inactions to protect me. We should cross the street. Well, we should, right? I'm not allowed to be in the store or near the store.
No, you're just not allowed to be back in the store.
So I'm allowed to walk in front.
Yeah.
Oh, we should stand out front.
Oh,
Read
no,
this.
No, it was not.
Yes.
We're on the corner,
Yes, right there. It's powering.
On the corner, not in front.
Yeah, not...
In front of the door.
Well, I'm walking past it. Okay. Whew, where was I? One attending officer... Well... Yeah. One attending officer further intimidatingly detained and battered me while I was cuffed and topless on the sidewalk in broad daylight. As employer of the 5 VPD officers on the scene, the City of Vancouver is vicariously liable for their poor-minded actions and blatant inactions to protect me. The constant jerking around without even knowing which way we were going was performed by LPO. And even more so by Sergeant Glendening, the favorite, the 2020 award police officer of the year. Did you know that? Woo! Which was harshly disturbing. My nervous system triggering my arthritis. You get that? The constant jerking around without even knowing which way we were going was performed by LPO and even more so by Sergeant Glendening. Ding dong, which was harshly disturbing my nervous system, triggering, my arthritis. I'm right here. Right here this happened. Look, what does that say? Liberty. Okay, Liberty wine. Look at the monsters going in there. I wouldn't have said monsters if I didn't think they were. Judgment. It's dangerous. Lies. Hey, don't do that to me. I need to feel this out. Right there, guys. Right behind me is where this all happened, what I'm talking about. People got their masks on here. Check it out. Okay, you hold that for me? Maybe stop it.